this is Miss Ann for Tween and Teen Cooking to Go. Today's recipe is thumbprint cookies. So what you will need is 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. That's our white sugar. A 1/2 cup plus 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 4 tablespoons of butter, 1 large egg yolk. You can reserve the egg white for another recipe that you're going to make right away. A 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla, your favorite jelly or jam, mixing spoon, non-stick cooking spray, cookie sheet, oven, and pot holders. So you want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Make sure your hands are clean. We are going to stir. I didn't say this in the ingredients, but your butter needs to be softened like room temperature. So we're going to go ahead and put our room temperature butter in our mixing bowl. Make sure you have a mixing spoon. You're going to stir together the melted butter, which is 4 tablespoons, the 1/3 cup plus, just the 1/3 cup of granulated sugar. Go ahead and add that. The egg yolk. I'm actually going to do the vanilla first because I'm going to have to wash my hands with the egg yolk. So you want 1/2 teaspoon of vanilla. We're going to add that to our sugar and butter. Next, you are going to add the egg yolk, and this can be a little complicated, so we're going to go ahead and crack it, and I'm going to show you how to separate them. Now I'm going to use the shell to balance the egg yolk. Oops. Didn't mean to drop that. And what I'm doing, I'm going to take the egg yolk and put it in the other half of eggshell. There's just a little bit of egg white left. I'm trying to get that off. And I'm going to do it again. See if I can get it. It's about the best I can do. So I'm going to take my egg yolk, and I'm going to add it to my sugar and butter and vanilla. And I'm going to wash my hands because I have egg white on them really bad. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and mix the granulated sugar, vanilla, egg yolk, and our softened butter. Using a wooden spoon, I'm going to get another spoon here. I almost called it a spatula. It's not a spatula. You use it for cakes. Do that. Probably use a whisk too. That's what it's going to look like. You want them all creamed up together like that. So next step, we're going to add our flour. I already have it pre-measured. Baking soda, which it's pre-measured too. And then my salt, which is sticking in the bowl. And you want to stir those up really well to combine them. Try not to make a mess like Miss Ann just did. Wooden spoon is stiffer, that's why I like using it. It's looking really good. So I am going to use some non-sticking cooking spray on my cookie sheet so my cookies don't stick. You can also use butter. You could take a stick of butter and rub some on it all over. You see how I have the non-stick cooking spray. And then I'm going to take a tablespoon, take a rounded tablespoon here of cookie dough. Oh, I got to show you too. Let me show you what my cookie dough looks like. It was really crumbly, and now I kneaded it really good. What kneading is just mixing it and get it to form the cookie dough. So it looks like that. So let's take, and again, make sure you have clean hands when you're doing this. Rounded teaspoon. You're going to roll it in your hands. Put it on my cookie sheet. Ooh, this one is crumbling up a little bit. It's okay. Just work it together. You're going to repeat this until you use all of the cookie dough. My oven is preheating to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Making this one just a little bit bigger. Maybe that was a bad idea. We're going to take a little bit off. So those are too close together right now. So I think we're going to call this good because this convention oven is smaller than your regular oven that you have with your stove. So what I did, I separated them so there's about a good inch in between all of them. So you're going to take your thumb and press down in the center of each cookie. So it looks like that. Okay, I have clean hands now, and I want to show you the jam that I chose. It's strawberry rhubarb jam, but it's Sticky Spoons jam, which is local here in Niles, and they are awesome. And this is a stable jar that you can put on your shelf at home, and after you open it, you put it in the refrigerator. But I put the date on it because that's when I purchased it. But now since it's open, I'm going to put it in my fridge. So I'm going to start with 1/4 of a teaspoon. And you know what? I didn't mention earlier about the 1/8 teaspoon of salt. 1/8 is half of 1/4. So we're going to take a little bit and we're going to put it in the center of each cookie. Doesn't want to release. Oh, it did. Actually, that might not be enough. So we're going to do a half a teaspoon for the next one. I'm going to press it down in there a little bit. That's a little bit less because there's still some in here, and I'm going to press it in this one that I first started. I'm actually going to take a little bit off. That scared me. I jumped. The oven is getting warm, so it's expanding. And you can use 2 teaspoons to do this too. Just start with a little bit because you don't want it overflowed. You don't want to put too much jam in it, or jelly, because you can use jelly. Oh, see how I put too much in this one right there? That is way too much. And it's going to be a sticky mess all over my pan. I'm going to add a little bit more to this one. You can also use different kinds of jelly or jam. You can have a variety. Like I have strawberry rhubarb. You can do strawberry and red raspberry and maybe blueberry and peach. It would be delicious. So our oven is preheated, so we're going to go ahead and put it in our oven. Be very careful. You might want to use a pot holder. So we're going to go ahead and put it in the oven for 8 to 10 minutes. We want it to get nice and brown. We want them to get nice and brown. Okay, we're going to let the magic happen now. Our Thumbprint cookies have gotten really happy in the oven. They look so good and they smell delicious. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out, and you want to have oven mitts or a pot holders, or like Miss Ann, an oven mitt and a pot holder. So be very careful and pull them out of the oven. Oh my goodness, look at them. They look beautiful. So next step, we're going to let them cool off for a minute or two. I have my cooling rack ready that I'm going to put my cookies on. And you are going to need your handy dandy spatula. So we're going to let them sit for a few minutes. Very carefully, with clean hands, you want to take up your cookies. It's still a little warm. And since it's on top of my oven, probably should use a pot holder, and we're going to put them on the cooling rack. And you want to make sure there's space in between them so they will cool off a little faster. So the cookie dough that we made enough for 8 cookies. So I'm going to go ahead and put the 3 remaining cookie balls on top of my cookie sheet. I'm going to press my thumbprint down, and this one kind of cracked. Ooh, that is too warm. I should not be doing that. Okay, see how it cracked? I'm going to try to reform it. It happens, it's okay. Like that. They're getting a little dried out, I think, from setting. Hadn't had my jam to them. Push it down in this one. So we're going to go ahead and put these 3 awesome cookies in the oven so they can get happy. Happy means that they're baking. So here we go. The last 3 Thumbprint cookies are still in the oven. And I am going to try one of the ones that are done. It's nice and golden brown. Look how pretty it looks. Look at the bottom. Okay, let's see how it tastes. Look at this. The butter in it, it is delicious. I want to thank you for watching my video and for making this recipe, and I hope you enjoy it. And stay tuned for June, because that's our summer reading, when summer reading starts. And we're going to have all new recipes. And I'm going to try something different this time. We're going to have story time with the recipe. Thank you for watching.